The National Museum plays host to contemporary artist Tunde Odeshola's iconic figures done with a bold canvas. Take a look.
The breaker of chains, who became America's 16th president. The lover of words, who knew when things were falling apart. To the man who had a dream that was later fulfilled. Then Nigerian singer and songwriter Asha joins them on the wall, amongst the other top shots who are renowned for distinguishing themselves in their various careers. But amidst those distinguished personalities lies other unknown faces who depict the struggle of man to survive and reach the zenith, and how they cling to the Supreme Being when they feel lost, or hold on to His word when they need comfort. This mix is what Akintunde Odeshola has brought for his solo exhibition at the National Museum.
The yesterday is something I'm trying to talk about what has been happening in the past, which has to do with civil war, you understand? Because there are some things in the society that I feel that are not right. So, to an extent, I found it challenging that if this continues, how do we secure the future of the children, you understand? So, I remember the time when I was reading the history and Pearl Harbor and Hiroshima really bittered my feelings. And funny enough, only to later get to know that Biafra took place again. I couldn't help it, but I was like, okay, I would like to say something about this, which I bring into visual art. For yesterday, I feel all this happened then. With what is happening presently in the society about the herdsmen and killing of children, I feel that this is like a sign of what has happened before. If you do not have a way of securing this not to repeat itself, then this is how we finally die.
Those are the images the curator, Luciano Zebu, is proudly introducing the audience to. Odeshola's images, which explores a subject that runs deep.
He decided to paint iconic figures initially, like Abraham Lincoln. Of course, Jesus Christ is a Christian, so we can understand that with the portraits of Jesus Christ he made. We now have Chinua Achebe, and we have Asha, the singer, and we have Maya Angelou, we have Martin Luther King Jr. We realized that what runs through all of these individuals he painted is the fact that they are iconic figures.
The artist works on a large space. His images almost feel like they are jumping out of the canvas and speaking to whoever encounters it.
I can actually remember his love for arts for a long time. And it got to a point I actually told him that why not just go for this art thing? I think you have the natural ability for it. And he said, okay. And his paintings have always, inspired me. Use of colors. They look very beautiful, but they are deep and they tell a lot. To come here and see his exhibition, it makes me happy from the very first time we met as friends, and to see that it has blossomed and it is now something that is a reality is awesome and fantastic.
From the artwork that we have seen, he was able to give us the impression of children looking forward to find a solace within the society. We saw the one that is crying, we saw the one that the father is holding and asking why. Why is things like this happening in the society? The artist is just trying to make us understand that our society needs to be better. There's another one that talks about yesterday, that is giving us the impression of what has happened in the past. And we find out that what has happened in the past is still continuing now. We find so many so many children dying, so many evil here and there, and we have people within the society that are supposed to even make things to be better, but we found that things are not working the way it's supposed to be.
One of his passion is that he likes to draw and paint, and also is into poetry. And he has a whole lot of collections as far as poetry is concerned. So when he told me that he wants to transfer his poetry to painting, I see that there's a lot of connection between the two. And we look forward to today, and I'm particularly very pleased that I see these collections. I go to his house regularly every now and then. I see him working, but I didn't know that he actually have a whole lot of these, which means he has been hiding so much from us, but we are happy to see it after all. And then I'm pleased with the way he interrogated the different phases of our life, and then how he brought out the problem and challenges that we face. And I'm particularly impressed by the fact that it is not all about tragedy that we have come to see in this exhibition.
He throws more light on some of the works being exhibited and what was running through his mind when he did them.
The future is what I am hoping that is supposed to be happening. You understand? If you look at today, how many children are even reading at that particular hours of the day? We are not doing anything about even securing the future with the way I see it, except the reserved parents that are taking care of that area for their children. But let's talk about the societal responsibility, which I believe that is needed. So with the future, I just feel like, okay, this is a message I would like to pass to the people who are already shying away from what is good for the purpose of tomorrow of those children.
Like Martin Luther King said, that true peace is not merely the absence of tension, it's also the presence of justice. So we have to meditate upon the situation in our society which leads to violence, civil unrest, and of course its devastating effect, and define for ourselves what constitutes true peace. That's one. And in doing so also we are admonished by Maya Angelou when she says that we have to maintain love and respect for one another. And then she forewarned that if we fail to maintain love and respect for one another, this is how we finally die. And that's how we coined the title for this exhibition, How We Finally Die, because it tends to summarize the whole issue of getting things right, of maintaining a responsible government.
This is Akintunde Odeshola's first solo exhibition, the first amongst many more to come.
And before we draw the curtain on the program, let me reveal our artists for this week and tell you why you won't want to miss the next edition of ArtHouse.
The Fakeye dynasty has lost a 6th-generation woodcarver in BC, born in 1942 at Ila Orogun, Osun State, southwest Nigeria. He went through the school's teacher training college but abandoned it for carving, training under his uncle Lamidi, then moved to Lagos in 1968. BC Fakeye interacted with formerly trained artists, developed a more commercially based practice, and became part of the Lagos art scene. After Festac 1977, he settled into the studios on the grounds of the National Theatre. He had a distinctive style because he added more contemporary themes to his works. Apart from reproducing some known woodworks into bronze casting, the depictions of his works in the last 10 years of his life were more contemporary in texture. He died on October the 8th, 2017.
You can enjoy ArtHouse on any of these platforms.
Next week on ArtHouse.
We enjoy Moses Osawe's Pa Johnson and Gabriel cartoon exhibition. These are two cartoon characters I created several years back, and most of my storylines are based on the exploits of these two cartoon characters. You know, I've used them for a very long time. I created them while I was with the Daily Times, through Vanguard newspaper and other publications, particularly Front Times. So they've been the protagonists of my cartoon stories.
Catch this and other exciting stories when you tune into ArtHouse next week.
That's the program this week. Many thanks for being a part of it. And always remember that you can check us out on our YouTube page to see this or any other edition of ArtHouse. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Have a lovely day.